Hello and welcome to Age of Warhammer. Today we're going to be looking through some of the new Age of Darkness, Horus Heresy releases. I'm sure by now you're probably sick of them because it's been going on for a while, and there's been a lot of content creators have been sent and they've already painted it and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we weren't deemed worthy to do that at this channel because we're probably not quite as big as some of the others at the moment, but oh well, it's we're going to go through some of it, so I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing for you. So yeah, there we go. That's the first three items there, and I'm going to also give you a little bit of an not an update, but an overall impression of how I feel about it so far. Okay. So let's start by taking a look at the Deimos pattern Rhino. This is one of the main staples of most Heresy armies. It's the troop transport. It's very iconic compared to the more recent Rhino because it has a more circular door and it has this at the front. This is a little bit different as well. There's like a couple of hatches, but it's always been quite popular with Heresy players, and like I say, it's very, very iconic. So let's tuck into this then and have a quick look. Let's see what it's like. I must say I like the new packaging of the Horus Heresy. And I remember when these were quite expensive at £35 each when they were resin. No, £35? Yeah, £35 each, and you used to be able to buy 3 for 90 back during the height of the Heresy. This is obviously Heresy's second age now, so I don't know, maybe this is the new height of Heresy, but certainly 4 or 5 years ago, you used to buy these in resin. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at the sprues. Should we put that there? There we go. Got missile launcher up here. It's like a heavy flamer. Smoke launchers. Plasma gun, another flamer, hatches. It looks like a Mark II Marine, so that's good. That means that they've probably CAD'd a Mark II Marine, which is pretty positive because a lot of people like the Mark IIs. I know this release is predominantly around the Mark VIs, but a lot of people do prefer the Mark II. Symbolises the height of like the Great Crusade, the Mark II armour does. So yeah, there we go. That's the top of it. Yeah, really nice kit. And here's the big sprue. So there's 2 small and then there's this big one. As you can see, the tracks need to be put on. This is cool. This is what Games Workshop does very well. Is look at that. They've made the proper space. They've made best use of the space in between gaps for their CAD layout, which I think is brilliant. And I think that's what separates Games Workshop from every other company on the market, in my opinion. The quality is just superb. The detail spectacular. And yeah, it's a really lovely kit, really nice. So that's the Rhino. Here's the instructions. We'll just go through them really quickly so people can see the stages of it. So there we go. I'll go through it fairly quickly. If you want to pause it on pages, you can. And if you've got any questions about the kits or anything like that, you can drop a comment below, and we're pretty good at answering almost immediately, so yeah, you can just let us know. So if you want to know any of the weapon options or anything like that, then certainly we can go through it for you. Okay, so there's the instructions, and oddly, you only get Imperial Fist and Sons of Horus transfers, which seems a bit strange, but there were rumours that this is going to be basically leading up to the Siege of Terror, so that's quite a prominent feature for the Imperial Fists. Anyway, that's that one done. So then we've got the Kratos Heavy Assault Tank. Now, really excited for this. This is actually a brand new design of tank. It looks like a slightly bigger Sicarian, Oh, Sicaran. Again, loving the artwork on this. Got a nice warhound up here. Hopefully they'll be coming in plastic one day. But yeah, really good. So let's have a look on the back. There you go, Imperial Fists again, Sons of Horus. There's definitely a push for the pair of them at the moment. So again, like I said, it's probably something to do with the Siege of Terror. But let's open this up. Good. I'm going to be using this in a 40k army. I have kind of decided against starting Heresy again at this moment in time, but I'll go over some reasons for that at the end. But yeah, here we go. So let's have a look at that. If you care about my opinions, which obviously some people probably won't, then yeah, hang around till the end, and I'm going to tell you some of the positives and some of the negatives I feel about this release. But yeah, it's entirely up to you. So what have we got here then? Right, so this looks like it's the bottom, and this looks like it's the top of the Kratos. What a great name as well, Kratos. Obviously, if you play the God of War games on the PlayStation, you'll probably have some fond memories of the name Kratos. Obviously, that's not where it came from. There we go. Again, fantastic design, lovely looking sprue from Games Workshop. Oh, look at that. That looks cracking, doesn't it? That looks really cool. Looks really good. It's nice to see a long straight bit of the track, so it's not too fiddly. It's like a last cannon down here. Volkite. Yeah. Really nice, lovely sprue. It does make me hope that eventually at some point they're going to do a Fire Raptor or a Storm Eagle. That would be an absolute dream, I think, if they did that. And let's face it, it's not outside of the realms of possibility with them doing kits like this. And the Baneblade, I mean, it's not much bigger than a Baneblade, so that'd be really cool. So this is some sort of new melter gun. I'm not sure of the names of these yet, but yeah, big melter. This looks like just a battle cannon of some sort on the left here. There's the other half of it. There's the melter again at the top. So this is more of the weapon and sponsoon side of things. But yeah, it's such a beautiful tank. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's going into my 40k Space Marine army. I think it's very, very nice. I'm gonna have that, and I'm gonna have the Spartan as well. So yeah, that'll be good. There we go, there's the other track. I won't dwell too long on this because it's basically the same as the other one, but just flipped. So yeah, cool. We've got two more sprues. So we've got a little one, which is just like your little hatches. Big heavy flamer. Missile launcher. Looks like a multi-melter up the top. And is that Mark II Marine again? Yeah, it looks like a Mark II Marine again, which is cool. Very nice, very, very, very nice. It's even got Mark II shoulder pad there, so yeah, you can definitely see it's Mark II. And the final piece of the puzzle is this. More guns. Can never have enough. I'll probably just field this as a repulsor, probably in 40k, because I definitely prefer the tracked look, because it kind of it goes back to that whole grimdark, they've lost the technology sort of thing. I think hover tanks is very futuristic, and I like the way it's. I used to like the way it was only for like the Eldar and the alien races, but now every bugger's got a grav tank. So wait for the Imperial Guard, I'm sure they'll have one as well. So here's the instructions, the Legion Kratos. There we go. I mean, it looks Looks nice and complicated. Should bring that a bit closer because actually these are quite interesting. There we go. How's that? Very nice. Really cool. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. That's it going together a bit further. I mean, what a stunning tank. Beautiful. Fantastic design. Surprised they did this instead of like maybe one of the fell blades or fell glaives or something like that, because my understanding is this is a 55-pound tank. It is pretty big. It's probably not quite as big as the Bane blade and the fell blade, that lot chassis, the shadow sword and the falchion, but it's still quite a big tank. So I'm surprised they didn't just splash out a little bit further and do that. But I am glad that they've done it. It's lovely, really beautiful. There we go. The instructions there. So yeah, and again you get the Wii transfers. So that's it. That's the whole lot for that. Let me just plonk it away, and we'll get on to the main event. So there we go. So that's the main event. So let's have a look. I mean, I'm sure by now, like I say, you've probably seen this 1,000 times because it's been shown off since I think October last year. The first images of this were shown. Yeah, I question it a little bit. I question the content. Like I'm not sure why they've gone for Mark 6 in here, but what they've kind of done is they've changed the fluff around the Mark 6 to make it fit the box and to make it so that everybody's going to want this box instead of doing something like putting Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4 or Mark 5 in there. But the original fluff was that the Corvus armour didn't really come into play much until the Scouring, when everything sort of like was lifted. And they stopped having as much, what's it called, like, what are they called? There was blockades and stuff like that, so it stopped a lot of people getting reinforcements. But now basically what they're saying is from the Siege of Terror, everybody had Mark 6. Obviously there's probably the exception to that is probably the Death Guard, because they mutated on the way. Spoiler alert. But yeah, so it's just, I think in lots of ways it's just a way to peddle this kit, and I like lore to stay the way it is. I think lore is not sacred, but it shouldn't have to change to sell a kit. They should have just done something a bit more clever, like doing Mark 2s or Mark 3s or Mark 4s or Mark 5s. So let's have a look. Obviously it made sense for a few armies, like the Imperial Fists did have Mark 6, but that's because they went and stole, or not stole, but they went and grabbed loads from Mars. But I don't remember it being that large amount, not enough to kit out everybody. It also doesn't fit now because most of the old characters that are resin and stuff like that, they're not in Mark 6 armour, they'll be all in whatever armour they had. So anyway, let's go on with this. So here you go, templates. One of the biggest things that they should have got rid of from 7th edition, in my opinion, is templates. I prefer the way 9th edition works for stuff like Blast, because I just got fed up of having a pie plate just land on 10 or on 5 men and then just deleting entire units. But a lot of people like that, so I'm going to swing this to the side actually. That's probably better. Yeah, let's have it like this. So, no, that's worse. Right, let's do that there. There we go. Right, so this is the Cataphracti. I'm not going to go into these too much. They've been around for a long time. If you haven't seen them by now, you're probably not interested. So yeah, that's the Cataphracti. You got some lightning claws, power fists. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat screaming, she's trying to get in. But yeah, there we go, so that's the Cataphracti. And some more Cataphracti. There we go, same thing again. So I'm not going to go too far into those. This here looks like it's just some bits and pieces. Like little, what are they called? Bayonets? Little bayonets, pistols, heads, and commander plastic pistol, power sword, and stuff like that. So yeah, really nice, all good. Sorry if I sound a little bit nasally today. I've got a bit of a cold, so I do apologise if you can hear that on the recording. This is exactly the same one. Okay, fair enough. Here we go. Right, so we've got the first commander. Lovely sword. I do like that. That's quite nice. So I think this is the one that on the cover is painted as a Imperial Fist. I think this is the Imperial Fist one. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Really nice. And then this one's the one with the big axe. There we go, there it is. So this is the Sons of Horus one. Yeah, nice. Cool piece of kit. What have we got next? We've got another one of that one. And then these ones are attached to each other, so I've got to be careful. Oh dear. Spin, spin, spin. How is that attached? Don't want to just pull it. Spins. Hopefully yours doesn't come like this. There we go. Right, so again, that's just another one of those. And then this is some of the Mark 6. Now, I know somebody who's actually already assembled some of the Mark 6, and they've actually said to me, it's a lovely kit, but it's very, very mono-pose. Now, I understand that Space Marines are very much like, once you've seen one, you've seen them all, but yeah, they did say, and I mean, they're a massive, massive A, Heresy fan, and B, Space Marine fan, but they did say that it was a bit of a shame to see the kit so mono-pose. But there we go. So that's that one. I'm not going to go through them all individually if they're the same. So, I mean, that's the same. So you get 1, 2, 3. You get 3 of those. 4 of those. 5. I'm guessing it's going to be 8. 6, 7, and 8. So 8 of those. So yeah, there is basically 5 Marines that you can do 8 times, which is your 40 Marines. That's cool-ish. What we got next then? So next up, this looks like it is the Spartan. Now this, again, I'm going to be using in my 40k army. I'm going to have to come up with some sort of fluff as to why they don't have the repulsors and stuff like that, but they've got the old heresy stuff. Maybe something like it was a forgotten Forge World, and they still had like a backlog of them. I don't know. You can make up whatever you want nowadays, which is good. So there we go. That's the Spartan. That's the first part of it. Here we have some more Spartan. Again, lovely. We've got the plasma pistol, heavy flamer. That is the one thing that's really, really good about this now coming to plastic, is that it does have every option, which is definitely a massive bonus. There's a cool little torso up there. Yeah. Because back in the day, you had to buy the, a lot of people probably won't remember, but you had to buy the Spartan, which was £105, and then you'd have to buy Sponsuit or other weapons, like if you wanted a multi-melter on it, you had to pay £16 to £18 to get another pack. There we go. And originally as well, like it was a pig to put the tracks on, but this looks like it's going to be nice and sweet. Look at that. It's great, isn't it? It's really, really cool. Yeah, I can't wait to do this in my own colours for my Ultima Templars, who are going to be a successor chapter to the Ultramarines, but have a bit of like a Templar vibe as well to it. There we go. It's nice. It's a big kit. I mean, how many sprues is that so far? That's 1, 2, 3. 3 sprues so far. But yeah, there's a few more coming. So lovely. Look at that. You could make some walls from this, couldn't you? Just have it as like a door. Yeah, really nice. Again. That bit there is not, and that bit's not. That bit, there it is. There we go. Ba-boom. There you go, more Spartan. Again, really nicely designed. It's nice. It's a very thick sprue as well. So you see it overhanging each side, but really cool. And again, as I say, I'm going to probably use this for my 40k army. This is the last sprue for the Spartan. Yeah, look at the way they've made the most of the gaps in between to put other bits in, and it's it's so good. The CAD technicians are absolutely phenomenal. And the tooling technicians as well, really, really good. Gonna actually really enjoy putting this together, and then getting it put at the front of an army. Probably just count it as the repulsor, something or other. There's the normal repulsor, and then there's the other one. What's it called? Repulsor Annihilator? Oh, I'm not sure. Anyway, so that's that one. Last but not least, we have the new Contempter. That is what this is, isn't it? Yeah, it is. You can see the shoulder pads. Yep. So this is the new Contempter. All plastic, multi-posable. Really nice. Very good. Very popular kit. Probably not as popular as the Leviathan now, because the Leviathan is better, but that's a bit of meta chasing. There probably would be more Contemptors out there. Yeah, it's iconic again, isn't it? I mean, look at these. I love these leg pieces. They're great. There we go. There we go. Okay, so you get this nice little insert. Drop plonk there for the time being. A lovely little insert, and blimey neck. Oh my god. Oh, that is a big book. That is a very big book. Really? What is in there? That's the rule book? Are you serious? I'm never going to remember that many rules. I must admit, I had to look through one of the I had to look through the Loyalist rulebook the other day, and it just reminded me of how many rules there were in 7th edition. I had to look at Reboot Gilliman, who's my favourite Primarch. I had to look at his rules, and across his weapons, he had like 8. Across 2 hand-to-hand weapons, he had 8 special rules. So I went looking around trying to find where the rules were, and I couldn't find them. But maybe they're in here. I found a few of them, but most of them I'm guessing are going to be universal rules, which will be in here. But yeah, I mean, look at that. That is... surely there's going to be some fluff in there, but that is a lot of rules. I'm not gonna lie, that is a bit of a turn off for me. Let's see how that compares to. I don't know. What can we compare that to? What do I have to hand? Here we go. Let's just compare it to a Rhino box. Look at that. It's yeah, well, there we go. Let's should have a little look, see what's going on. Make sure it's not all just 300 pages of special rules. Oh, knock the camera. Bear with me, let's straighten that up. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you record. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. Would you consider dropping us a like and maybe a subscribe? That'd be really helpful. We're trying to grow the channel. Okay, right, so that's nice and handy. You've got a nice reference sheet. I mean, a reference sheet is usually one sheet, but that's not in this case. Yeah, okay, I mean, it's mostly the same as before. Yeah. I don't like the whole weapon skill these charts anymore. I don't like these anymore, and I don't like these. I don't necessarily think they make much sense. But maybe the weapon strength and toughness, maybe. Obviously, in 9th edition, it's a little bit more basic than that, and that's not too bad. But really not a fan of the weapon skill stuff, because, for example, I know for a fact in this that Reboot Gilliman has a weapon skill of 7, and I know that I don't know, Lehman Russ has a weapon skill of 8, which, yes, fair enough. Obviously, Lehman Russ is a better fighter, but it means that. But Lehman Russ also has a rule which means it's -1 to hit him. So that means Gilliman fighting one of his brothers. There's not meant to be that much in them all. I mean, yeah, obviously some of them are better than others, but there's not meant to be that much in it. And Gilliman will only hit him on 5s, or only hit him on 6s, because it's -1. So. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just a little bit. You've got these grade A Primarchs for combat, and then you just got everyone else, and the points just doesn't add up for it. But yeah, so that's the reference. Oh crikey, that is a big book. Is that the anatomy of a Space Marine? Yeah. The creation of them. I mean, it's fantastic quality. The Edict of Nicaea, Imperium of Mankind. I mean, it's got loads of great artwork in it. Let's have a look at the contents. So special rules is 230. Page 230, so should we have a look? See how many special rules there are? 230, 175, 230. So special rules, here we go. This one. 1, 2, 3. Apocalyptic glass markers. I mean, that's 6 pages and we're still on C. Exoshock. Special rules, special rules, special rules, special rules. Wowzers. Okay, right, so 19 pages of special rules, universal special rules. Yeah. Well, I mean, that might be right for some people, but I'm just at that point now where, you know, I play 40k as well, and it's like, I'm never going to remember all this. Which is a shame, but yeah. I mean, the artwork and stuff like that is, again, incredible. If you're into the Heresy, you're going to love this. I was into the Heresy a while back, and I loved it. I did enjoy it. I think that it kind of, book after book, became better and better with power creep, or worse and worse, but with power creep. But now they've balanced it. I think that they've made some far worse than others. Like I say, the Ultramarines look like, well, particularly Gilliman looks quite naff now. These are cool. The Solar Auxilia. Look at that, lovely, really nice. Yeah, I presume it's going to be 3 ways to play as well, but really cool. I think that I'm definitely going to get into Heresy at some point, but what I'm hoping for is that they'll release Mark II, because I'd much rather fight pre-Siege of Terror do some what's it called, some White Scars would be really nice. I mean, these battlefields are fantastic, and everything looks really, really good. Yeah, there we go. So, there we go. We've been through it. 19 pages of special rules. Okay. But so, yeah, anyway, right. So, let's have some thoughts on this then. So, really, to me, if you're into Heresy or thinking about getting into Heresy, this is a really good book. Really good box. This starter set is obviously the place to start. Very, very good. If you like Mark VI as well, really good place to start. If you're into 40k, I think, and you think that 40k is bloated, I mean, 19 pages of special rules suggests this is going to be quite bloated. I don't think they're going to have fixed a lot of the stuff. I know there's a new feature called reactions, which means that you can actually do reactions when your opponent does certain actions, which sounds really good, and hopefully that will be something which ports over to 40k at some point. But the reason I'm not going to be jumping into this straight away is because they've admitted that World Eaters are on the way. We've got Chaos around the corner. Squats are coming back. So we've got some really cool stuff in 40k at the moment. And as a narrative gamer, I find that there's more freedom obviously in 40k, because it's story which is evolving now, so you can kind of do a little bit more. Whereas the Age of Darkness, you're going to be just playing the novels. You know, it doesn't matter what you do at the end of the day. What's happened has happened. And some people like that. Some people play historical battles, and that's totally cool as well. It's really, really good. But as more of a narrative player, I think I'm going to struggle to get into this. And that's not me just being negative for the sake of being negative. But I am slightly disappointed that we weren't invited along to the recent event, considering we've been on the list for years for the Heresy and stuff like that. But it's, you know, that's just me being petulant. And I can admit to that, so I don't need you to tell me that. But yeah, no, it's a good book, a good box, huge rule book, absolutely mammoth. I love the tanks, I love the Dreadnought, and I'm definitely going to be doing some of those in the future for my 40k army. But yeah, that's it really. I don't really have a lot else to say. In here there's just the instructions, some dice, some more transfers in the box, and that's it really. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Horus Heresy 2.0? I know it's been a long time coming. I know there's going to be a lot of diehards out there really excited for that, and that's totally brilliant. What they've done is fantastic. I think it's been done differently to the way that I would have run it, but it doesn't mean that I'm right. It doesn't mean that they're right. I just think that it's down to opinion. I certainly would have not made the Mark 6 and then pushed it as being basically the armour of the Horus Heresy, which they kind of have done now. I'd have kind of kept it the way it was, and used some more of the Mark 4s, 3s, 5s and 2s and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there really. The one thing that I do think is really good is that they're going to hopefully refresh a lot of the range in plastic. Hopefully that means plastic Primarchs, because I don't know if you go back and look at the Primarchs now, there's been definitely a scale creep, which doesn't fit right. If you look at, for example, Lionel Johnson, he's head and shoulders taller than Reboot Guilliman now, and Reboot Guilliman is really small compared to Jagatai Khan and some of the other Primarchs. Angron is the worst. Angron is absolutely tiny compared to the others. So yeah, I think that hopefully they'll go maybe do some of the plastic, maybe do some of the Primarchs in plastic, but who knows? That may or may not happen. But it would be very good if they did do that. But some of the other tanks, and like I said, some of the other flyers would be really good. So if we did the Storm Eagle, the Fire Raptor, Thunderhawk gunship in plastic would be really good. But yeah, that's it really. I don't really have a lot else to say about it. Great box, good, fantastic value for money. If you're into the Heresy, get it. If you're kind of on the fence, I don't know. If you're on the fence, probably don't get it. Maybe if you're into 40k and you want to stick to 40k, that's probably the best place for you. Yeah, if you're like me and dumb as a doornail, then probably this many rules and stuff to remember. I mean, that's definitely the biggest rule book I've ever seen. So yeah, that's it. Let us know your thoughts or any questions down below. If you've made it this far, please consider liking the channel and subscribing. It'll be really helpful. We'll be back really soon with some other stuff that we've got, and also come over onto the Instagrams as well, where we're going to start doing some painting stuff coming from this week, where you'll see some more of our armies, because actually a lot of our armies we've been doing in the background are nearly complete now. So we're going to be able to start showing some stuff off, which will be coming into some future battle reports. So yeah, brilliant. Any questions? Let us know. See you soon.